So now we've finished with the calibration, so back over in our tab over here, we're going to go back from calibrations back to the test data tab. Referring back to our procedure, we know we're doing, in this case, we're doing source range N31 with unit 1. So up in the top left corner, we're going to go to the file for the WinCharm version 5.2. Click the button that says Open Database. Opens up this box. We're going to go to the Browse tab. If you've been working on it recently, it may be one of the recent databases, but you can always find it by going to Browse. And then if you go back here to where it says WinCharm version 5.2 and click right there, it'll show you all the databases. So we are in database version 52 database is the most recent one. From there it's broken down into common, unit 1, unit 2. We are working in unit 1. This is broken down CRDMs, INCORs, NIs, raw position. We're working in nuclear instruments. And we're working in source range. It has a source range, inner range, and a power range tab. Source range right there. Source range and open. And hit OK. So now up top, it's telling me that I'm already there. So up top now for Unit 1 NIs, I have N31 and N32. So I'm in the right place. Now down in my test queue, so this is the database that we're in. Now we're going to go down into the test queue and load our test set. So there's a load button there. Load. And I'm going to select N31 is the one I want to load. There's N31. Hit OK. And that will load our test sequence 1 through 9 for what we're going to be testing. Little blue arrow right here, you can open this up and see a little bit better what we're talking about. We're going to be working, our procedure says, to get P2 alpha.
P2 alpha, and then TDR data for center wire to inner shield and outer shield to ground.
Alright, so you can see here we have 9 tests. 3 of them are on P3 alpha, P1 alpha, P2 alpha. So P2 alpha in this case is test 7, 8, and 9. So those are the tests we're working on. So the first thing it's asking for in the procedure is a TDR for center wire to inner shield. Center wire to inner shield is test number 7 in this case. I'm going to click on test number 7, and over on the left hand side is an acquire button. I'll hit the acquire button. It doesn't matter if you hook it up now or hitting acquire is just going to give you another screen. So if I hit acquire, this is where I usually do my connections. Right? And this tells you where to connect. With the positive lead, which is going to be your red, you're going to the P2 alpha center, and then the negative is going to be the black to the inner. So, alright, so we have our P2 alpha connected to our triax to banana adapter box. The instructions say to connect the red lead to the center and the negative lead to the inner. So we are connected center to inner on P2 alpha. So now up on the screen we are positive lead to center, negative lead to inner. We're going to hit OK. And this is already pre-set up. It's already got all your voltages, distances, everything set up on that. So there's no adjustments you need to make. It's already pre-programmed. So the first thing it does is a TDR. Now we're going to put 100 volts on it to check insulation resistance. So this will give you a TDR, insulation resistance, capacitance. Once it's all done, it'll bring up a screen, and you can review it real quick just to get a general idea of how it looks. This is our first test for N31. So when you look at it, when it comes up, you can do a quick comparison with the previous TDRs if it has something to compare it to. This one does not. So the first thing you can see when it comes up is you have here in the TDR box a basic of the TDR. If there was a reference TDR, it would be in blue and you'd be able to see behind it. Actually, I think the reference ends up being red, so this one's going to be the reference. and the new one would be the blue. And you can look and see what its insulation resistance is. In this case, insulation resistance is 5 tera ohms, which makes sense because we just have a little short open-ended cable, so that's a good thing. If you want to review it before you post it, you can come over here and hit this TDR button. Something to note on this CHAR system is that you cannot adjust how much distance it shoots. It's going to shoot for 5,000 feet right off the bat. Most of our NIs have a cable length, the detector is within 500 feet of the control room. So when you're looking at this, you're going to have to zoom in a little bit. Right over here on this side there's a zoom. It starts out at 100%. If you come over here and change this down somewhere around 15% or so, now we have a 0 to 700 foot trace to look at. So if this was a detector, you'd be able to see the detector out around 400 feet. In this case we have a very short cable, so if I zoom in really far, like 2%, you can see that the cable is only a foot or two long where it's reading. So once you've taken a look at the TDR and you're happy with what you have, you can close out this TDR, and now you want to hit the post button. It'll post this trace, and it's asking you, do you want to post it and remove it from the test queue? If you're happy with your trace, then you hit OK. If you're not, you can hit cancel. You can shoot it again. Hit OK, places it over in the test queue archive and removes it from your test queue. And now you're ready to move on to the next sequence.